Do you have a sacred space in your home? Is your home a sacred space to you? That's what we're going to talk about today, how to create a sacred space, even if it's just your bedroom. Even if you're sharing a space with another person, are there ways that you can bring the sacred into your space so that you're feeling connected to your craft, to who you are, feeling connected to your joy and to your happiness? Before we dive into the topic though, my name is Sandra. I'm the author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path. If you want to know more about Wicca and witchcraft, magic, tarot and shadow work, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. This channel is all about things witchcraft and also that inner deep shadow work, learning how to connect with who you are and connecting with your divinity. And your power and your craft is what this channel is all about. If you want to know where to start your witchcraft practice, but you just haven't got a clue because there's a lot out there to learn and you don't know where do I begin and then how do I learn along the way and what do I learn along the way, I have a free masterclass. It's called How to Start Your Witchcraft Practice. There's a link in the description field below this video and you can also find it on my website, mysterywitchschool.com. So creating your sacred space is going to help you feel more like you. Now, this is a way of using form to help you in your spiritual practice. It's not about attaching yourself to the objects around you. It's not that you become attached to them. It's that you're using them to help connect you and remind you of who and what you are on that deeper spiritual and magical level. So creating sacred space is a part of you putting yourself out into the space so that whenever you step into it, you feel safe. You feel like home. You feel like it's okay to be you in that space. And this can be varied. So the first thing is to decide how much of your space can you make sacred? Now, you could just designate a particular area of your home, put an altar there, and use that corner of your space as your main area. You might be fortunate enough to have a room that you can totally dedicate to your craft and have your books in there and all your tools in there and an altar set up there and even like a marked out circle on the floor. Some of you may just be sharing space with other people, or you may be in a share house, so you've only got a room. So work out what you have available to you. Now, if you have a whole house that you can work with, you want to make the whole house sacred in some way. I mean, not every room has to have an altar in it, but you want to, whenever you're walking around your home and being in your home, you still want to feel that everything about it is sacred in some way, that it is reflecting joy, what you connect with on that spiritual level. So designate the area, find out what you've got to play with first. And then number 2 is to go and cleanse that space. So if it's your whole house, cleansing the whole house, and I've got videos on how to cleanse a space, and I'll try to remember to put links to those videos in the description field below this video. But essentially, when it comes to your space, I like to use the elements to cleanse with. So I use salt water and I use incense. The salt water is salt representing earth, water representing water. The incense is representing both air with the smoke and fire when you light the incense. So I go around with the salt water first and then I go around with the incense. Now I'm making that sacred space, so I do move Deosul around the house. So for me in the southern hemisphere, I move anti-clockwise. If you're in the northern hemisphere, you would move clockwise. If you're in a new space or you feel you've got to sort of get rid of some icky energy first, then you'd want to banish the area of that energy first. And it's not like you're ridding the place of energy, because energy, you can't not have energy. Energy is energy and it doesn't go anywhere. You're wanting to change it, you're wanting to transform it. So a way to do that is to either use drumming or to use some incense again to cleanse the space. And also you can use singing bowls, you can use clapping, you can use a rattle to go around your space, and or your broom, your besom, to cleanse negative energy out of your space. So you start at the back of your home and you work around to all of the rooms until you get to your front door, and then you sweep out or you drum out all of the energy that you're not wanting in your home. When I'm banishing, so I'm going around and removing the energy, I will then work Widdishins. So in the southern hemisphere, that will be clockwise. In the northern hemisphere, that would be anti-clockwise. So once you've cleansed, you've made it sacred using the elements. The third thing is to have representations of the elements in your space if you want to. It's a way of just bringing in the reminder that everything is made up of the four elements, and when we are working magic, we're working with the four elements. So having representations of earth, air, water, and fire. You could have symbols of them on the four walls of a room. I have symbols behind me on the bookshelf back there. You could have, if you've got a space that is a whole room that's you've dedicated to your practice, you could have little altars on each of the four walls that are dedicated to the elements. It's really up to you. If you've just got a corner in a room, you could have small symbols of the elements. You could have paintings of the elements. When I was in my first coven, we had an artist who drew up some amazing pictures of the elements. And these were like elemental creatures, the elementals. And they were amazing. And I had them up on my wall in my room. So if you're able to put them up, that's great. It just reminds you of what you're working with when you're working with the craft. Number 4, think about colour. You can have altar cloths. Altar cloths can vary in colour depending on what season it is. So you may have yellow for Lunasa and red for Mabon, for example, and you change them and keep them there for each of the 6-week periods of the Sabbats. You might change the colours at the new moon and the full moon, have white at the full moon and black at the new moon, and change your colours around and bring colour into your environment. Decorating your altar with colour that makes you feel connected to your spirituality, and that can mean different colours for different people. You can also paint your walls various different colours too, depending on whether you're able to do that and you've got the space to do that. When you're walking into a space, and you see the walls, that's going to help you feel a certain way. Colour has an emotional connection to us, so that when we see colour, we're automatically going to have an emotional response to that colour. So what colours work for you? What colours do you connect with? Number 5 is blessing each room. So after you've cleansed it, you don't even have to have decorated it yet. Blessing the space. So it might just be blessing your bed if you're in a share room, or blessing your room in a share house, or blessing the entire house and all of the different rooms in the house. You can bless the kitchen for sustenance and nurturing. You can bless the bathroom for cleansing and eliminating. You can bless the bedrooms for love and for healing and for peaceful sleep. Whatever your area is and whatever you normally would do in that space, you can bless that space for that activity. You could have sigils in each of those spaces that represent those blessings. You could have pictures in that space. You could have crystals in that space. That whenever you walk into that space, you're automatically feeling energetically connected to what that space is about. You can put the symbols on over top of the door, that's your doorway that you're walking through, to symbolize that change of energy, going from one part of the house to another, and making the whole thing basically a sacred space. You can also, number 6, bring in things from nature to represent nature and the elements. So shells from the beach, particularly in places like the bathroom, that's connected to the element of water. Bringing in pot plants or small plants and having them in the kitchen area where there's growth and nurturing energy. Bringing in crystals like amethyst and rose quartz for the bedroom, for example, for good dreams and peace and love. You could work with feng shui too. If you're interested in feng shui and you understand feng shui, you can bring that, because that is what feng shui is about. It's making your home basically sacred and good for you in all of the different areas of your life, wealth, love, connection to people. All of those things are there in feng shui. And you can do this using Western witchcraft to bring all of these good things into your home as well. You could have a money altar or a part of the corner of your home that's dedicated to money and bringing in the energy of abundance and keeping that area very, very nurtured for bringing in what you need to survive in the world. So think about the aspects of your life that are important to you and how each room can be involved in representing that, or where in your space you could represent that, so that you're balancing all the things in your life and bringing things into your life that are good things. Number 7 is maintenance. It's maintaining all of this. So on a monthly basis, if you can, go around and re-cleanse your space. You don't have to rededicate your space to anything. Like, you don't have to keep blessing those spaces for particular things unless you want to, but at least cleanse it out. Like, do the salt water, do the incense in the space, just to give it a cleanse and to, re-energize the space again. Also, be careful about who you allow into your space. Are there people you don't really want to be coming into your space? Because they are bringing in energy with them and it's going to have some kind of a resonance on your space. So be careful about who you invite into your space. And if you're not sure of some people, just don't invite them into your space. Go somewhere and meet them somewhere else, so that you're not going to bring energy that may not be very helpful to you or may even be harmful into your space. Of course, you can always cleanse it after they've left, but it's better not to have them there in the first place if that's at all possible. Now, all of these things like cleansing, working with the elements, energy work, which is basically what you're doing when you're cleansing the space, and working with the altar, if you're alternating colors and connecting with the Sabbats or with the lunar energies. All of these things I teach in the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy, which is my 12-month course in Wicca and witchcraft. And this course is to help you connect to who you are, connect to your inner witch, and to bring this into your life on a daily practice, so that you are connecting to your spirituality and who you are daily, every day. It helps you feel like you have an anchor in your life, and you can really start to explore your craft and live your craft. You have me as a mentor, and you also have a community of other people who are there to help and support you. So that's the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy. There's a link in the description field below this video for how you can join that. It's also on my website. So if you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I will see you on the next video. Blessed be.